dump it.
Someone's gotta get
Crank the dredge in. Give me that rod.
Give me this rod. I got this rod on tight now.
All right.
We got a triple on.
Shit.
Get down in the car, one time give it all, bust it open hard, let me see you drop. Get down in the car, one time give it all, bust it open hard, let me see you drop. I fucked up this vessel, baby, hustle, but the
Yeah, let's go, baby!
Can't catch fish all day if you don't keep catching them, you know what I mean? That's
What does that mean?
You just gotta get started there.
Look out, look out. Oh!
I got it.
we hustle, but the
Oh my.
Pretty fish, huh? That's what we come for, Noah. That's what we do instead of snook fishing now. We come out here and do this. Leave those fish inside. There's no habitat for them. Everybody beats them up. These fish, fun to chase all year. You get them to jump. Get multiples on it at one time like you just saw. Awesome. But we need to protect this too. Definitely need to protect it. All right, I think he's ready. Woo! Let's go, baby. Hey, nice job anyway. Back in 2016, we had some really bad blue-green algae blooms here.
Developing now, Lake Okeechobee discharges now pouring into the St. Lucie estuary at a higher rate.
Creating toxic algae in this area, killing wildlife and hurting the environment.
After thousands of dead fish started washing up near restaurants, causeways, and beaches.
Lawmakers are complaining as the economic and environmental concerns grow each day.
Many water-dependent businesses suffering economically.
Protesters right there lining the St. Lucie locks and Stewart this morning, not happy at all about the water now being discharged from Lake Okeechobee into the St. Lucie River.
Lake Okeechobee discharges are killing my business.
And for years, environmentalists have called this a broken system needing to be fixed.
A lot of people don't, you know, when they see that stuff on the news, I think they feel like, oh, that's not going to affect me, but they don't realize like they're the ones that own the real estate on the water. And you know, they come here from all over the country to live in Florida because we have beautiful blue water, but if they ever take a second to look into it, you know, it's dead. It's a desert out there. So what is wrong with you? You can't be getting in there when I'm on a roll. Nobody cares. This is not we're not worried about fishing. Jeez, you're a mess. Now I forgot what the I was saying.
Real estate.
Real estate, yeah. So they take a look at the water, and you know, it's a desert down there. There's no grass. There's nothing. It may look pretty at the sandbar, but there's just nothing there, and it does affect them when that brown water rolls in and the blue-green algae, and they have their family in from Pennsylvania or wherever. You know, you can't use the water. It will eventually affect their property values, and you know, it's going to affect them, and they have a huge voice. And we need to have those types of people involved as well, not just, you know, the local guide and the local tackle store guide. It needs to get to reach, you know, other people that don't really realize or feel like they're above it or numb to it, that it is going to affect them as well. We got a big bait pile. Cobe, there's a huge bait pile up on the water up here. mean, years ago, everybody was fishing in the river, you know? Oh, look at this mess. They weren't fishing. I can't even say that seriously right now. I have a disaster going on here. But I mean, a lot of the guides nowadays, when you see them at the boat ramp, they were all in skiffs 6-7 years ago. And all these guys have moved into, you know, into bay boats and bigger boats so they can fish offshore, because the fishery inshore has just gotten so bad over the years with the discharges. There's just no place for, you know, no place for the young fish to hide. We're finding a lot of the bigger snook now are offshore, on the offshore reefs. And, you know, it's becoming more and more visible to the offshore crowd that there's a real issue, because, I mean, when we get offshore today, other than occasionally in a weed line or something, you'll see that there's some plastic and some trash floating, but it's beautiful out there. It's still untouched. And, you know, now these guys are plagued with, you know, bay boats running around all over the place, where before they kind of had the place to themselves. And it's, you know, it's definitely changed for those guys. So it's kind of important for that sport fish crowd. We see more and more of those guys wanting to get involved and wanting to understand a bit more about what Captains for Clean Water does and what the initiatives are, so they could be a part of it as well, because it's starting to affect their fishery. I mean, all these guys that would spend the whole day, I mean, look around here. All these guys would spend the whole day, with the exception of the big boat, would spend the whole day inside fishing. And now they're all out here. So eventually this fishery is going to be impacted by overfishing and all the pressure that you have going on with everybody being out here. Mission, I mean, it's pretty clear. You know, God intended the water to go south. It no longer goes south because there's other greedy people that want it penned up in Lake Okeechobee, so it's at their disposal for when they need it. The mailbox money comes in, and you know, the lake levels stay as high as possible. We get 6 or 7 inches of rain, rather than that water being able to go south to the Everglades, which is starving for the fresh water. They decide to discharge it east coast and west coast. Well, it's filled with all that nutrient rich, everything from pesticides to fertilizers to, you know, organic waste, whatever it is. It all comes down the Kissimmee Lake chain from Orlando down into Lake Okeechobee. It sits there and festers, and then when it's dumped into the saltwater, it just supercharges and turns into your red tides, your blue-green algae blooms. I mean, it's just nasty, nasty stuff. So the mission is to get the water to go south. But, you know, getting involved with Captains for me, you know, really gave me this feeling of that, you know, these guys had it dialed in as far as what they were trying to do and what they were trying to achieve. And they were surrounding themselves with people that had the same type of, you know, drive, the same type of passion to ensure that this, you know, moves forward. You know, I feel like, you know, the direction that Captains is going in and what their real mission is helping to improve that, and it's helping for, you know, to get other people involved to create the awareness. And, you know, to me that's exactly what it needs, because it's, you know, it's a David and Goliath battle right now, and these guys are on the forefront, you know, leading the charge, and, you know, allowing people like myself to have a voice and get involved to be a part of this.